What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today with more Railroads Online Heist. We're going to jump right into it. This is a brand new engine. It looks very red. It's very...
Early Baldwin
red.
styles, man. Red wheels.
Did they do this? Is legit, like big red...
This
is
is...
just painted, like painted cast iron? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
or...
painted cast iron. One of the many style options. Yes.
Red with the white wheels. That was...
White walls, yeah.
Why would you pick that as a style? I mean, for passenger trains, I guess? Like, this is the
all engines in this early era of railroading were kind of gaudy and, like, painted up like this, and brass and gold and varnish, and everything was beautiful and beautifully cared for.
This front, like, gold, wooden trimmed, golden...
Right, all of the line work
like,
and everything, like... This is when we cared about the equipment in railroading, and it lasted a good 20, 30 years, and then it stopped, and then everything was black. So these engines from this era are just beautiful.
The Mosca's a 280, obviously.
280, yep. Big driver 280 at that, too.
Big driver 280, mainly a passenger puller, I'm assuming? Like, based
on... I'm not 100% certain. If I knew my history a little better, I'm actually pretty sure it was only freight, because the Mosca's got a pretty neat story that we'll get into once we get underway. But it's fun to look at. Oh, you're just okay. Khan's just gonna run it. There you go.
We're gonna go to the coal mine. In the last episode, we left all our plank cars there, our stake flats. And we've got lots of coal there. So we're gonna go up to the coal mine, up the 2% alignment, because it's easy enough to do that. And then we're gonna come down the 10%. With all of our stuff, coal and stake flats and all of that, and then we'll end up back here. We're pretty much doing a tour of the map again. Actually, we're gonna
pretty much the other way this time.
Yeah. Apparently, Heist, you were saying we can drive the Mosca full spicy and it doesn't matter. So
I'm not sure. I want to say that people have said it does 22 miles an hour, so it's not as fast as the Glenbrook, but it's like right at the car speed limit. So I guess we're gonna put that to the test, because
I'm just at full speed right now. So
yeah. I hope it does that, because that would be really, really nice and really convenient for us.
Okay, so let's talk about this. The Glenbrook pulls 7,800 pounds or something like that, right? Almost 8,000 pounds. And the Mosca pulls like 8,800 pounds, almost 9,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 more, yeah.
It only gets about 1,000 pounds more tractive effort, but it has a whole extra driver. So how come the Glenbrook is more... They're both 130 PSI, right? So, like...
So
where's the Glenbrook get the extra power from?
Well, the Mosca's got the extra power, and the extra power would...
like, if the, like, driver-wise, it doesn't... The ratio doesn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't matter. Number of drivers does not matter. It is the diameter of the drivers, the boiler pressure, and then stroke and bore of the piston and the cylinder and everything. Like that. Those are the only things that matter.
The number of drivers is only for adhesion?
That's only for adhesion. Yeah. You get more weight on the drivers, and the locomotive's less slippery, but the actual pulling power has nothing to do with the number of drivers.
Okay.
At least in terms of the math number.
So they put 8 drivers on the Mosca just to make it, it's a little bit bigger than the Glenbrook, I guess?
Well, so it's a 280, and 280s were like... You want to talk about default railroad? Okay, we need another engine. Let's get another 280. I mean, they were probably the most common wheel arrangement early on for typically freight pulling, just because you had almost all your weight on the drivers, so you had that adhesion, and they were a pretty proven design. What?
Not to interrupt.
Oh.
How do we only have 7 cars?
That's a good question.
Okay. Good.
You wanna just bring him back and
I was counting in my head and I was like, wait a minute.
And here I thought it was just out of render distance.
That looks like it's the number 7 back. So I was very confused for a second there.
Well, I'm running down the right away, see if I can find it.
Yeah, no, I was like, we only have... Okay, apparently we found out you cannot go full speed all the time.
Well, that's just agonizing.
You will apparently lose your back car.
Apparently so.
I don't know where it went. How far back did we lose? We had 8 when we left the station, right?
Okay.
We had 8 leaving the hump yard?
I think so.
Can you imagine writing up the report for this? You leave the yard, you come back with 8 cars, and one of them's just mangled, but you didn't tell the boss what happened. You just,
dude, that stuff happened. That stuff happened.
Where you just like smash a car and you're like, well, we're just gonna bring it back mangled and pretend it was always like that.
There's stories about like, oh, well, we derailed something. You know, hey, I'm gonna pay the guy who runs the derrick a box of cigars to re-rail this car for us, and nobody will say anything. And then it's like, why does this thing look like crap? I don't know, boss.
Balancing on 3 of 4 wheels.
Pretty much, yeah. I've run a pretty significant distance back, and I'm still not seeing it.
Dude, we had 8, right? Like, I'm not crazy.
I mean,
2, 3,
I can't
4,
see
5,
8
6,
cars
7.
back, so
We only have 7, yeah.
8 cars is a long way to see for a client, so you know.
All right, apparently I'm gonna let you drive, and I'm gonna be the back
The back
guy.
car, yeah, checker person. I'm at the Y from the ironworks, and oh, here it is.
Oh, you found it? Did
Yeah.
it get derailed at the Y?
Oh, yeah, like maybe 4 car lengths past the switch, and it is just sideways.
Sick. Yeah, just throw it back on the track. I've got a link and pin on this. I'm coming back. So.
All right, well we'll let you get pinned in. We can talk about Mosca some. Coming back nice and spicy there, huh?
My reg's on. I'm not driving.
Oh boy, dunk. All right, you got it pinned in.
All right.
So I'm running, and you're gonna watch the back car.
I'll put it in full. There we go. We're doing a full burnout.
It's eight cars. I mean, you got to do it, man.
Yeah, just watch out. Don't go full 100% apparently, because I'll probably die. So like, you know, just
sure.
Thing to know.
It's fine.
All right. So what do you know about the Mosca? Where is a railroad that has a Mosca or had one at one point? That you know of,
so here's the fun thing about the Mosca. Was that the Mosca was penned up to be an early locomotive for the Denver and Rio Grande. Okay. And for some reason, they ended up not wanting it or something. And so...
They saw those red wheels and were just like, no thanks.
Well, the Grand had plenty of gaudy, weird, you know, painted, all sorts of styles. Like, they had plenty of stuff that looked like this. But for whatever reason... Baldwin went to deliver, and the Grand said, you know what, never mind. And it ended up with its sisters going to the East Broad Top, which is a 3-foot narrow gauge railroad that runs in Pennsylvania, kind of in the center of the state, a couple hours from Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, kind of right in the middle there. And I've never been to the East Broad Top yet. Wink, nudge, wink. But I shall be going out that way pretty soon for, I don't know, something. But it's a really cool railroad because it was a railroad that existed pretty much to haul coal and nothing else. That's what they hauled. They had a bunch of hopper cars and everything, and some other things.
Imagine making a railroad just for hauling coal and nothing else. Like
right, unit trains, all the unit trains. Yeah. But the cool thing is they basically closed up shop sometime in the 1950s, and it was basically like they closed the door, locked it, turned the lights off, walked away. And the railroad still looks exactly like that. Nothing got sold, nothing got scrapped, nothing got...
saying is...
It got bought by preservationists in the 50s, and like everything, the shop, everything is still there and original to the railroad. Like, there's very few places where it's like, okay, we have the roundhouse, and we have the machine shop, and we have the oil sheds, and the every building that was a part of the functioning railroad in the 1950s is still there, which you really can't say about many locations in the world at all. So it's a really cool place.
But they bought it, and they still run the trains now. Like they're actually running them.
Yeah. So they kind of had an interesting history as a tourist railroad, and they ran a bunch of the steam engines and stuff through like the early 2000s, and then things kind of went sideways. I don't really have the details on it. But ultimately, they haven't run steam for a couple of years. And just like this past week or two, the East Broad Top number 16 ended up coming back in service for the first time since 1956, I think. And they just finished the restoration on it. It looks brilliant. They did a beautiful job, and I'm excited to get to go see it personally, because I will be seeing it. So.
How far does track render for you in client distance? Can you see?
I can see track all the way. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can see the gloriousness of. Every time I come in here, there's like a choir of angels that plays. The light comes down from the heavens. You know, like it's.
The Switchbacks!
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know how you're not getting that same feeling.
Because I hate this. Though I will tell you that many of my commenters had a good suggestion for you. You know how you want to make the stub ends longer, right?
Yeah.
Make them at a slight grade so that you pull up the grade and it helps you turn around.
Yeah, see, I thought about that. If you make them all up 2%, then it basically helps you slow down rather than being flat. But, I mean, and I guess it doesn't really affect you when you're climbing anyway, because when you're climbing, you're already, climbing 2%.
You already have to be able to do it, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be able to. See, I thought about that originally, but then I wasn't really sure how real switchbacks did, and I thought they must all just be flat or as close to flat as possible.
I've seen some either way, so there's a prototype for everything. So I think we should do that.
I might do that when I rebuild them, just make them go up 2% again, so it just helps you reverse the direction. That way too, you could also set your brake a little bit, and it'll slow you down, and then it'll start to coast backwards. So. Either way.
So, anyway, East Broad Top ended up with Mosca and I believe 3 or 4 of her sisters. So they had 5 engines total, I want to say. And I can't remember.
What's a sister to a Mosca though? Another. Mosca?
Oh, the same wheel arrangement, different name. Yeah, same exact locomotive, different number, different name. If we were to buy another one of these and rather than name it Crazy 8 like we named this one, if we were to name it something else and give it number 9 or I guess whatever the next Fibonacci is, you're dead. 13, right? Is the next one.
Yeah, 13 is the next one. So I don't understand though. If you have a 280, the Mosca is the name of this engine. It's not the brand.
The Mosca is the actual name that this engine got. That is the physical name. Oh well, that's what it got when it was going to be a Rio Grande engine. I think that the East Broad Top actually named it Rock Hill or something like that.
If we look at stuff like the Porter, for example, the Porter was called the Porter, or that was the name?
Porter, HK Porter is the manufacturer in that case, and that is a Class B 8-ton Porter. When that is the model name.
The locomotives in this game were the model name. The Mosca is a particular 280 model. The Montezuma is a particular 240 model.
Yes, the Montezuma is actually a Denver and Rio Grande Class 25.
Oh, I can stand up here. This is cool.
Oh, that is neat. Also known as, it's Baldwin has their catalog number for these locomotives, and I can never remember any of them because they're very confusing.
So what you're saying is, though, the naming convention in Railroads Online, really, it's different.
Mosca was the one that was we have pictures of this. It was the first in the class. We know this. Montezuma has sisters. Montezuma had a sister named Ute. Same engine, same wheelbase, same railroad, everything, just different number. And then there was 2 others that I can't remember off the top of my head. But in this era, the engines had numbers and names. And so the names that we use in Railroads Online are almost all not the actual, this is what you'd go to buy the locomotive for. You'd tell Baldwin, hey, when you deliver this is the name of the engine, write the name of the engine on the side of it.
So, but if you went to Baldwin, you'd be I want a 280 with a 130 PSI boiler, or they have a catalog of here's all our 280s you can buy. Now tell us what you want to name it. Is that
Yes, you could do either. People did either. You could either say they have a standard, this is the bog standard. Guess what? The Denver and Rio Grande Class 56, which I think is oh goodness, I'm not gonna get my my Baldwin numbers right. Anyway, it had a Baldwin class number that I'll try and look up if I can remember. And that is their bog standard 280 that every railroad everywhere had one, at least one.
It wasn't like buying a car where you're hey, I'm going to go to this manufacturer and buy I'm going to go buy a Ford Mustang, or I'm going to buy a Pontiac GTO or whatever. You contact the locomotive manufacturer and you go, I want this, and then they just kind of build it to order, basically.
Well, so you had a little bit of both, whereas the Class 56 was so ubiquitous, that was the Ford Mustang. You'd say, hey, I saw a Mustang, I want a Mustang. But there were some railroads that had bizarre requirements.
That railroad has a better locomotive. I want that locomotive.
Yeah, you could specify, hey, we want this made with a better boiler that's higher pressure if it was possible. Or, the Uinta Railway basically sniffed a bunch of glue and they ordered the 2662 mallets that they had, or articulateds that they had, from Baldwin and said, hey, can you make it like this? And then they made them one, sent it to them, all custom for the Uinta, and then the Uinta modified the crap out of it and said, okay, now make us another one, but with our changes, because your design was bad. It was not crazy enough for our silly railroad.
Nowadays, though, I feel like diesels are more like standardized.
Diesels
like,
are boxes on wheels that produce horsepower. Guess what? What color do you want it painted? Here you
they're
go.
all
Same
basically the
diesel, same
like,
diesel.
they're all-
Same, like, for the most
Yeah.
part, there are some differences, and there are
There are
some.
multiple. Like, who makes all the diesels nowadays? Like General Electric makes one, don't they?
Not anymore, actually. Fun fact.
Oh,
So
I
GE,
thought they used to.
they did very recently. They actually very recently got purchased by Wabtec. So the two big locomotive manufacturers these days are Wabtec and Caterpillar. So Caterpillar owns Progress Rail, which is the modern flavor of EMD, which was the electromotive division of General Motors.
Interesting.
So your early diesel locomotives were actually from EMC, the Electromotive Corporation. Then they became EMD, the Electromotive Division of
which
GM.
was made by GM.
So yeah, like the diesel
It was like a
locomotives through the
diesel- it was a
60s,
GM
80s,
diesel,
90s,
basically.
they were GMs. And the funny thing is, they just have a giant version of the Detroit engine, basically, in them.
Yeah.
And then GE originally was Alco, the American locomotive company, which made steam engines like the Big Boy and the Challenger, and they made some of the Rio Grande Mikados. Con, we only have 5 cars. I hate to tell you this, but I looked back and there was some train missing.
I was just sitting here waiting to get the switch, and I was like, why does the train look so
Why
short?
is the train already passed? Oh, okay, this is annoying because it lulls you into the thought that you don't.
Think you can go.
Yeah.
It's not a safe speed. The cars are running away now. I don't know where the.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just bring it back. I'm just gonna, yeah.
I'm gonna break these two. I don't know where the last one is.
There's
yeah,
one
you have
on
to
the
go
side of
slightly
my
below.
I hate that. This is worse than the Glenbrook, because the Glenbrook, and it gets going so fast,
I'm
like,
stuck,
you
I'm
just
stuck.
do whatever, and then this one, like, it lulls you into, like, oh yeah, no, it's fine, and, like, I had it at 95% or something, but that's still too fast.
Oh, there
so.
it is. It found the hopper. I found the hopper.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm coming back, so
on this bridge. It's the crap 401 car.
So we've derailed the 400 first, and now the 401. So I guess we're going in order.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
we'll
funny.
eventually rearrange the whole train this way. I can't believe it's so funny with this train too, because like with the Glenbrook, you definitely notice when you derail. With this, it just happens so calmly, where like a
Just
single
like,
car
oh,
pops
yep.
off, and then you're like, wait a minute,
Where's the rest of it? Yeah,
where's the rest of my train?
yeah, that's it's pretty
That's a
silly.
good one. All right, perfect. I got these two tied. If you just push back slowly, we'll get all of them.
All right. Trying to
Unbelievable.
gently, firmly grasp it. Dunk.
That one. All right, let me untie these brakes. You're good to go. Wow, what an experience.
There we go. That's a vibe.
Yeah, it's almost better when the engine goes slower with the speed limit. So that
Right,
your cars
yeah.
don't slow down.
Yeah.
It's like, this one's very tricky because full reg doesn't feel spicy, and then you're just missing cars.
And then the cars. Yeah, that's
Even
hilarious.
two ghost derailments. We haven't even seen either of them. We just haven't.
They
had
just
the cars show up.
happen. We don't even know how will you know when
Yeah.
Kenosha ends? It just happens. It's fine.
Whatever. This is why we do switchbacks.
Yeah. So anyway, Alco, they started making diesel locomotives, and then the GE ended up buying them and made more diesel locomotives of a similar flavor. And then ultimately GE got bought out by Wabtec. So these days you got Wabtec, who makes railroad everything, and you've got Caterpillar, basically. Those are the big players. I'm sure there's others that exist, but those are the ones that make 99% of stuff that runs in the United States.
All right, you're good. All right, here's the million-dollar question: who makes rail? The majority of rail.
Oh, good question. I have no bloody idea.
Yeah,
Steel mills around.
There's gonna be some steel mill, right? Like a million steel mills.
There's-
But I'd wonder because rail is continuously extruded now, right? Like it's like
It's super
they put a die-
long segments. I want to say they're like 420 foot long or 421 foot long
Right,
sections.
but they'd make
Yeah.
them. They'd make them in an extrusion process now instead of a casting process.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, they're
They just push
rolled.
them through a mold, basically,
Yeah.
and it comes out as a big long rail.
Yeah.
And then you cut it to whatever length you want.
There's actually really, like, if you look up on YouTube videos of, like, how is rail made, there's actually some really cool footage and, like, description of the process out there. I don't remember where they are. It's all over the world, I'm sure. All the rails that we deal with are ancient at our museum, but
What happens if you have to replace a chunk of rail? Like, is that? I guess your rail doesn't really wear out that much. It's
well,
mostly like the ties and stuff.
dude, we're a curve. We're just a constant curve. We
Your rail
will
just constantly
probably
wears out.
we'll probably replace a 30-foot section a year or every other year, which, you know, for how many trains we're running is significant.
Where do
So we
you
don't run
get-
that often, but
Where do you just get a 30-foot section of, like, it's going to be curved at a certain radius, right?
well, so yes and no, it depends. Sometimes rail's not pre-bent and you just spike it over, but if it's sharper than a certain radius,
What?
yeah, you just
Railroad spike strong enough to bend the rail, like, and hold it?
yeah, that's how that works. You don't pre-bend the
my-
rail most of the time. Yeah,
That's so crazy. Like, that's a lot of force.
it is, and it helps hold everything. Like that's how this whole thing works. That's why you spike every tie, and the ties are only like 2 feet apart. Like, it's all about holding the shape of the curve. Yeah,
I
fun
literally
fact:
never knew
super
that. I
super
thought
sharp
rails
curves.
got bent a little bit before they
Super
got
sharp
put down.
curves get pre-bent, but that's only like super sharp curves. So a lot of the curves we
Right.
have, even at 28 degrees, I don't know if the rail's pre-bent or not. That's a good question
So
for
how do you
our
actually
track guy.
spike it over? You can't physically use like a forklift or something.
We
to
use
push
a
the rail?
backhoe for us.
Bend the rail,
Back in the
and
day,
then-
I mean, you just get some dudes with tie or with rail tongs on the end of the rail, and they would pull it over, and then it would get spiked, spike by spike, and then the spike would hold, you know, that previous bit of rail, so you're only ever bending a little bit. And if you needed more leverage, you would put the joint plates on, the fish plates, some people call them, the joint bars, and then add another rail, and then you've got 30 more feet of lever arm, and there you go.
All your rail would be under tension or compression the whole time. And then, like, as a train drives over it, isn't there a chance that it'll, like, kind of pop out of, you know, the ties? I guess that's, you just gotta do maintenance checks on your
Yeah,
rails.
you gotta
your
make sure the
spikes
spikes are nice and tight in, make sure you're using tie plates and doing it the right
Right.
way. Yeah.
That's I never thought of that. I always thought there was some pre-bending to rails required to make sure that they.
On really sharp curves, yes, but like anything that's mainline United States and stuff, no. And you think about it, it's like, okay, they're trying to install 400, 500 foot long pieces of rail. Well, they can't be pre-bent because they have to be able to snake around the railroad anyways just to be put in place. So
Right.
it physically has to happen that way.
Yeah, it's crazy. Never thought of that.
Yeah. The track inspection stuff is pretty crazy too these days now, where rather than, you know, dudes on speeders going around and looking at stuff and
Well, it's gotta be
inspecting
a
things.
robot, right? You gotta have a robot by
Yes,
now.
yes. We have the track geometry car. We had maybe 8 of them at BNSF. They were an old converted Santa Fe bi-level passenger car, and they put like 15 billion thousand sensors and cameras and stuff, and it could detect if a spike was backed out a quarter inch at 60 mile an hour going down the railroad. Like, super incredible technology. So they just run that thing over the subdivision and go, yeah, you got to do this. And there's actual like data science being done on, well, should you add more super elevation to this or not? Or, you know, how can we maximize the life of this rail in this location or whatever? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
There's a lot of big time engineering that goes into that on the big railroads, which is pretty cool.
It's crazy to think how much rail traffic nowadays still is like a huge part of internal travel, especially in North America.
You don't think about it because it doesn't affect your daily life that often, you know?
Like fuel, it's all about weight per fuel cost. That's like the efficient, like that's what it all comes down to, right? It's like how much money does it cost in fuel for how much weight can you move? And like trains are just unbeatable in that category. Like, yeah, they burn a lot of fuel, but they move a lot of stuff. So
yeah, the old metric that I've always heard is that the diesel engines and the big diesel electric locomotives burn about 2 gallons of fuel per mile, but
Right.
they're moving tons upon tons upon tons upon tons of freight while doing that.
Yeah,
So,
whereas a
hard to
jet
beat.
burns 2 gallons of fuel taking off on the runway, pretty much. You know, like it's.
And
Yeah,
and every extra pound you add to the jet makes it that much, you know,
Yeah, well, there's
harder
you know,
to do.
That's why you got takeoff weight and landing weight, right? They're very different things.
I guess I've never considered that, but duh, you're burning fuel, so you're getting lighter as you go.
Yeah, rocket science is the same way.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I've done that math with rockets, but like I
Yeah,
haven't thought about
like,
planes.
like,
Yeah.
You know, the fuel burn rate matters so much in rockets because that's why you can, as they launch, they throttle back because otherwise you just, you know, force equals mass times acceleration, and if your force is the same and your mass
goes
decreases,
down. Yeah.
you start going really quick. And
That was
yeah.
that was my favorite thing that I like it blew my mind when I started playing Kerbal Space Program back in the day. Was
You
this
lose mass, go
the
faster.
no the asparagus staging of rockets of
Oh,
like
yeah.
super heavy designs where you think about it and you're like, what are you doing? How are you making any efficiency by pumping fuel out of your second fuel tanks into your primary fuel tank? You're making it so those engines burn out so much faster. You know, if you've got 3 cores like the Falcon Heavy with SpaceX or whatever, the 2 outer cores are sending fuel to the inner core at the same time as they're burning it. So they run out first, but then
they're gone.
they're gone and done, but you're up super high in the atmosphere with your central core almost entirely full of fuel. So you've got that big amount of force for so much longer. So you only got the super powerful force for when you need it. And it's like, this is a genius solution. Like,
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense thinking about like, oh, extra pumps and systems to make the fuel do that. But it's like, oh, but it really has an effect.
Slow down a bit here because we're gonna pick up some cars.
Oh, are we lined into it?
Yeah, there's a set of cars here, so we're lined into these. We're gonna grab them and then load up all the coal.
Oh, good God, they're right there.
Yeah, I got. Keep going.
Render distance. What is it?
I don't know why that was a weird connection.
Oh, the Mosca's got 4 chuffs per revolution. That's good.
Good.
Someone in the comments was saying that all of them except the Glenbrook have that, so the Glenbrook's just broken.
Stop!
Stop!
Oh, I guess we can back all. Yeah, let's load from the back. Go back up. We'll load
Okay.
the front one. Load the front one first. I don't know how we're gonna get. We're gonna have to push out with the goat, which will be fine.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll work. Right, that'll be safe. We also have to go switch the line. So here, I'm gonna go do that 2 seconds here because I can just. That's why I put a thing over here.
So we're gonna go down the 10%?
Yeah. We're too big for the switchback.
I see.
We're 20 cars, and I haven't extended it out yet.
Right.
So we would have to split, and that would suck. You know, I was thinking about it though too. Talking about that downhill, like if you have the switchbacks have like a 2% or whatever, you could theoretically then go down the whole switchback without an engine, and just.
Oh, let gravity do it. There's an episode idea.
I mean, if it would work, it would be very tough. I don't know if you can re-accelerate on 2%. I feel like you would though. If you were loaded, you definitely would.
That'd be fun.
But either way. All right. Hey, you good?
This thing's got one of those wonder like magic brakes that doesn't have an air compressor associated with it. It's fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mosca back in the day had an air compressor?
I don't think so, which is why it's got this. It's kind of, the model's interesting. It's got 2 crosshead pumps, and it's also got a live steam injector on the engineer's side.
All right, you're good.
Okay, but then
Yeah, so
yeah,
if you
no
didn't
air
have,
compressor.
it would be one of those locomotives then that had no pad brakes on the engine at all. It was all just done with like steam pressure through the pistons. Like that was your own brake.
Yeah. Or by dudes like you on top of cars.
Run in reverse.
There are brake shoes modeled on the tender, at least for the handbrake. But yeah, nothing on the engine itself. There's no brake rigging, which makes sense because there's no compressor or handbrake on the engine. You fill those fast as a host. I was struggling with
Bro,
those.
I am a speed
You were
loader
the seasoned champion up back there. But it's a pretty locomotive. It's weird seeing like, I'm so used to 346, which is originally a DNRG class 70. And so more power than the Mosca, significantly so, right? But smaller drivers, so seeing a 280 with these big drivers and the wagon top boiler, it's a vibe. And with the big stack on it, I like it's very early railroading vibe right now.
All right, you're good to go.
All right,
Still
so
have 77 coal here. That's amazing.
it's almost another
And
whole
we still
full
have
run.
extra rails too. It's literally the beams.
The
that were out of
beams.
the rails.
Good
We
God,
still
we
have extra rails.
brought 10 cars of beams last time.
I know, we sucked through them all. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
All right, so you're gonna have to go forward, and then you're gonna have to go back into this lane here.
Right.
And then I'm gonna take the 48 and follow you and push until you're over the 10% crest, and then I'm gonna just hop out of the 48 and come get it later.
And then we're gonna pray. Got it.
Then you're gonna use a lot of brake.
Yes.
Like a lot of.
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to hold back what, 20 cars
20
total?
cars. But like 12 of them are empty. 12, you know, we're just trying to bring these back to the hump yard, right? So
Yeah. Am I clear?
yeah, you are. My bad. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to make sure your brakes were. All right, you're good to go back.
Come on, Crazy 8. That was the best name we could come up with.
Yeah, we're not really creative, guys. The next engine is going to be number 13. 8 plus 5 is 13.
We're gonna have to come up with some spooky name for it, or some bad luck name or something.
The comments for, although we're broke still, so it was
Number 13's got to be the Kenosha, bruh.
the
bruh.
Kenosha.
Yeah.
Well,
this is
what engine do you buy for it, though? That's the question.
I mean, the Class 70 would be the most accurate at
Would
that
you buy the
point.
Class 70 just to have it. I mean, we could save
Just-
up, and then we'd have
just
the
to
actual road
yeah.
engine.
Yeah. That would be out of the progression order, but the meme order, that would be first
Dude, we
meme.
haven't
So
really been following the progression order ever. We should have a Eureka by now.
that is true. That's very true.
We should have a Eureka and be towing like 3 cars. All right, you're good to go forward whenever you
Good
feel
to
like
go
actually
forward.
accelerating.
I can't see back there. I can see the first 2 maybe stake flats, and that's all I can see. I get 10 cars of vision. Okay.
That's not good.
Yeah,
All right,
we'll
well,
never know.
I'm gonna get on your back end and just push.
I love it when you do that. I do need that help.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna wait until you clear all the switches, so I don't accidentally cause a derailment.
Yeah, that would be bad. We don't like that.
Yeah, and then we just gotta as soon as you clear that 10%, you gotta be really careful on your brake, because as soon as all your coal cars get over that 10%,
It's gonna be. I'm gonna be going for a ride. Yes.
you're gonna be going so fast.
It's gonna be a roller coaster. It's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, you're gonna have to slam that brake, like maybe even the front couple cars a brake.
Somebody's gonna have to call mechanical when we get back to the hump and tell them that the smokestack leaks because we're drafting smoke out the back of the stack.
Out of the side, yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed
it's,
that. 'Cause you put it. So I was curious about that. You put a custom smokestack on it, which has like an ash catcher, of
Big
sorts,
giant
right?
cinder bonnet,
Right.
spark arrestor. That's the word. We've
Spark
been
arrestor.
there
So,
before.
like, what's with all the different spark arrestor designs? Is it just flavor of the month, or their actual
So
like?
lots of different railroads tried a lot of different things, and basically they had such small smoke boxes in this era that they didn't really know what to do, and so they put all of the stuff that is now in modern day smoke boxes on top in the stack extension. And so you have these big spark screens and everything and all that, and people tried to figure out the best way to do it for wood burning and early coal burners, because it's like they put out a bunch of embers, but you need them to draft hard too. So they're trying to make them nozzle shaped, they're trying to do all this stuff, and a bunch of different flavors. I'm far from the early stack design expert out of anyone. There's a lot of people who know that stuff a lot better than me, because all of my stuff has shotgun stacks when they made the smoke boxes bigger and fit everything inside. Like,
Are you at full reg?
yes, sir. It's a lot of train. It's 3% grade, Con. Oh God, are we for reals right now?
Oh no, this is not a big enough helper.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well, hold on a minute.
Do you wanna use the advanced ways of the Force and get the climax?
I could use the advanced ways of the Force and get the climax, but I feel like
We could also take this in sections.
I could just literally cut you at the I'm just gonna take all these stake flats back and I'm gonna deal with them. I'm just gonna push them after the fact, and then I'll ride them down, surfing on a sound wave.
There you go. Sold. Yeah. Let me see. We didn't bother doing the math on this because we thought it would be fine, but I guess it is not.
It's 12 empties, but I guess 12 empties is still like 100,000 pounds or whatever, right? Of just empty weight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna back up, and these will all roll back with me, presumably, and I'll just leave them, and then I'll come push you because you're not gonna move.
Yeah,
I don't
shouldn't.
think.
Let's see. The whole train weighs 388,000 pounds.
Okay.
And
yeah,
I do not have the Mosca in my spreadsheet yet. Hang on. Let me make that happen here. All right. So I've added it to my sheet. I had to guess on the tender weight, assumed that it was the same as the Glenbrook and the Eureka, which I don't really see any reason why it'd be terribly different. And Mosca's in the sad category of choo-choo that can't pull itself up a 10% grade. Fun fact.
What about 3%? We're on 3.
3%, it's good for 169,000 pounds. And the Class 48 is good for 225,000. So we should have been good for about 380,000.
Okay.
And we were at 388, apparently.
Are you serious? We're literally like 10,000 pounds
that
over.
close. And that's assuming the weight of the tender is. So the tender might even be heavier. I don't know what the tender weight is, but
it's so unfortunate.
so close.
It's literally like 1 or 2 cars. But anyway, I parked the stake flats are back at the thing. I'll come get them in a sec. I'm just gonna push you up over the hill here.
Yeah, I took my brake off to see if I would go forward, but
down, you can go. You're small enough now. You can go down the switchback.
We can go down the switchback if we want.
That's up to
do we want to deliver to the Ironworks or the freight depot?
Ironworks always, because we got 1,000 coal there. It's the same price, right? And then the Ironworks gives us the.
Yeah. So as much as it kills me, I think I have to go down the switchbacks to the Ironworks. I think that's a lot faster than going all the way around.
Probably, but I have to take the stake flats all the way around regardless. So
we're already doing the trip that way. Okay.
Yeah, we have to do the trip no matter what. If you go down the stake flat way, then you can kind of wait, and I can
you can kick the cars, and then we can run the Mosca as the road engine. And okay, that makes more sense.
I'll catch up on the hill. Because we still have all these stake flats that are over here, and I really don't we got to get them back somehow.
Yeah, we need to do that. You should be good to kick those with the Class 48. So, the Class 48 actually outpulls the Mosca at every opportunity. So, that's kind of hilarious.
Honestly, looks like a beefy choo-choo.
It's a Chongus, man.
Yeah, it is a bulky choo-choo.
Ish chunk. Yeah. I will never forget.
Okay, so the Class 48's an 060. Was there ever an 080? Was that?
Yes.
There was.
There were many 080s. That was relatively common, not necessarily on the narrow gauge, but relatively common in the, and particularly in standard gauge. And then there were also even, there were some 010Os, and I'm pretty sure there is at least one prototype for an 012O, because why not? Just keep adding drivers.
012O?
Yeah, just ridiculous.
I feel like that thing would hunt like crazy. It would just be like...
Oh, we're already lined up, huh?
Cool. Well, we're lined to go up to 10%, yeah.
Yep.
I'm just pushing away now.
Yep. I've got it wide open up here, too.
Yeah, I had cut back the throttle a bit because we were on the flat there, and we were picking up some sort of spicy speed.
Scary speeds, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I like the red wheels on the tender. Like, the red drivers are a bit much, but the nice little red accent on the tender wheel sets, I like that. It's cool.
What's the most outrageous locomotive you guys have at the museum? Like, on display or not?
Outrageous, like bonkers?
Like what do you got that's like...
Oh, paint?
Like just like paint and metallics and like, like in terms of decoration, what's the most outrageous looking thing you've got?
Or
most of yours like work engines that were like the generation of let's paint all the locomotives black.
I mean, mostly like we have a DNRG Class 56 cousin. It didn't work for the DNRG, so it wasn't a 56, but it's the same Baldwin drawing, the 191, but it's currently restored to its like 1890s, mid 1890s appearance when they had painted it black, basically. So it's not froofy crazy like this.
All right, I've let you go.
Okay, and I'm gonna be getting on the brakes here shortly.
You might want to get on the brakes like yesterday, but we'll see.
That's fine. I got my brake on all the way. It's fine.
Right,
I'm going to get my tender brake, and I'm just going to assume that I'm going to need at least one hopper brake. Yeah. So we also have, like in terms of crazy paints, The F units we have, which are big streamlined diesels, are painted yellow, which is pretty loud, and then they've got 4 black stripes down the side. So they're pretty cool looking. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. The client side video game. This is bad. It's done. It's so done, Con. I'm sorry. There it goes. There goes one.
Uh-oh.
There goes another one.
Well,
maybe the front half of the consist will be able to break.
well.
This railroad is so steep. Oh, I can't tell. I'm client. I won't get to know if it derailed or not until I get to it.
Did your locomotive go first?
So so I lost cars in the back somehow because I was trying to get more brakes tied because I had the engine brake on hard, I had the tender brake on hard, and then I got the first hopper brake on, and then it just started to take off, so I tried to get another one, and then the client side trying to play Super Mario platforming sim 1895, I got yeeted off the train, off of the giant bridge, and then I got to watch the train go down the bridge and slowly fall off. And I don't know, like, I re-railed 2 cars, and everything else is out of render distance for me. So I'm riding the last car. I have no idea where any of my train is.
How many cars do you have?
Oh, there's another car. There's another car in the dirt down there. All
right, I'm just gonna back the.
Oh, hey, there's cars on the track. Okay, so the engine and the 2 cars, the engine tender and 2 cars made it to the iron mine where it levels off, and they made it like 2 feet.
Good.
So there's theoretically only 5 cars that are somewhere forlorn in the dirt. So
okay, well, I'm back at the coal mine here, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Whenever you want to come assist with this giant pile.
I'm just gonna park and come help. Oh
okay, so like when we did the Switchback episode, you had a pretty bad Kenosha. This might be this is the worst one, I think, because that was like a true runaway that was spectacular that I got to watch run away. It was just like, oh, that's done.
This is the problem with 10% lines, is that you need to go, like that one especially, you can't have any brakes on to make it over the hill, but then as soon as
you have to have all of the brakes
on. And it's like you can't, without air, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate, too. Like, as a client, like, there was no way for me to, like, make it back over the cars to tie more brakes. It was just impossible.
All right.
So
that's in the right spot. Let me, let me go warp to you here. What is going on?
I've got another car that's here on the ledge.
Hey, Heis.
What?
Smell that?
Smells like Kenosha? Yeah?
Interesting.
Yeah?
Interesting.
What?
I'm just gonna put this cup down right here.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. Yeah, thanks.
At least there's no maintenance costs. Okay, so that's how many cars?
Re-rail tool. I've got 4 cars up here now.
You have 4 of 8. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so the other 4, there's one that's about halfway up the steel bridge that I saw in the dirt down here. I don't know where the other 3 are. Presumably somewhere in the same spot.
But you binned them on this bridge, not the...
I was out of render distance at the first bridge. And I know that the train made it a little bit further. Hey, look, here's a car upside down stuck in the side of the rock wall.
Right there. Yeah, perfect.
So somewhere vaguely around here, I think, is where most of them probably are. I wish I had host render distance for this.
We need you guys to deliver all this coal. Yeah, no problem, boss. We also need to take back the flats that we left at the coal mine on the last expedition. Yeah, no problem, boss. We'll get on that, boss. Okay. Boss, yeah. All the coal's on the side of the mountain, boss.
Seriously, we need you to go pick up each lump of coal.
We're gonna need some assistance over here, boss.
Yeah, send out the big hook.
All right. I got another coal car coming down here, but I can't get onto the front to grab the brakes, so it's probably gonna derail.
That's fine.
It's coming down spicy. It is spicy fast. Oh, there it goes.
Oh yeah, okay. Yep. Oh, it made it about to where the last one did.
Can you grab that?
Yeah. It's fine.
All right. I'm gonna look for more.
What's that sound? The consequences of our actions.
That's number 6, right? That's number 6.
I think so. So there's still theoretically like 2 more.
This rail is I love the 10% enthusiasm, but it is very stupid.
It is very stupid.
Oh, I found 2 more over here. So
oh, hey, how about that?
Yeah, this was not an intelligent decision to make a loaded rail. I feel like we need to
No.
extend the switchback more, and then it'll be really.
No, don't make
you
us run over the switchbacks. Can we have a realistic compromise of a 4% grade or something? Please. Please, Con, I'm begging you.
Replace this 10% with a 4. You know what? We'll build another route up the valley at some point, Heist. You know, the proper valley that you've never
that we're supposed to use.
Yeah, and it'll be a nice long route, but it'll be a gradual, like, 2% or so. You know what I mean? Like, that'll be.
So Con, I don't think I have enough render distance to re-rail this car. So
Okay, sick. I'll be down there in a sec. This one's You know what? I'm just gonna let this. You can just appreciate this. It's actually working too. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Why do I hear engine chuff sounds?
I don't know. Are you looking at the rail right now?
I'm trying to. Hey, I got it. Dunk.
Just wait till this car gets down here. You're gonna like it.
Are you like Jack Sparrowing this car sideways or something?
No. You're Jack Sparrow. All right, where's
But
this
you
other
have
car
heard of me.
Where's this other car?
Oh no, I got it. I got it somehow.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sick. Yeah.
Oh
look at
yeah.
This car.
That's. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, you can just
Got
ruin
it?
the journals like that. It's fine.
You're fine. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
We're just gonna destroy all the ties.
Just all the ties. MOW doesn't need to know what won't hurt them.
That's why you just make concrete ties and then you just destroy the wheels instead. Problem solved.
No, the concrete ties get
Yeah,
get
know,
worn
they'll
out
get
worse than the than the iron or the wood ones. Well, okay, that's
Alright.
that's where that can go. That's fine.
Did you get them all? Are they all on?
No,
No?
this
Okay,
one's almost
perfect.
there. Is this the? No, we still need one more.
What do you mean you still need one more? You don't have 8?
No, this is 7.
It's not 8?
No, 7. Unless I can't do math.
I thought I gave you 8.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? Where'd the 8th one go?
I don't know.
Oh no!
We're playing the game. Where is that? Where is that one? I don't know. Somewhere.
This mission has been a failure heist so far.
Yeah. This
How
is.
do you? I know you play Derail Valley. People have been bugging me to get back into it. I kind of want to get back into Derail Valley to be honest, because I never really got into the bigger
It's a lot of fun.
locos. And I see they're getting like a new simulator update, which is gonna be.
That's gonna be so lit, dude.
It looks so good.
So
like, with all
excited.
with all the different engine controls and stuff being more realistic. Anyway, long story short, how much money do you spend on maintenance in Derail Valley? Do you ever make money in that game? Or
I have
I play
several.
that game pretty careful, but like you
I
seem
have
to just
several $100 million in debt in Derail Valley, and I found the car. It's right here.
debt.
Yeah, no. So I need to make like $500,000 to get enough money to pay off my insurance or whatever, and then it resets it to 0. But yeah, my running total right now is like several $100 million. It's bad.
Perfect. Yeah. You like to.
I mean, the whole
I don't
point.
understand how the guy who operates real life trains is super dangerous.
You see, Con. You see.
The fact that you're outrunning me right now and I can't catch up and you haven't applied brake.
I had 33% brake, Con. Jeez.
Okay, you know what? You can figure that out. I'm going back to the coal mine.
Okay, we got it now. Got it, boss. Yeah, no, so, see, the thing is, you can't drink beer and get a little silly and then run real trains, because that hurts people, and that's bad. But Pixels, they never, I mean, they can get hurt. That's fine. So, it's fun to play trains like play trains, like be irresponsible and Railroads Online and Derail Valley and everything, because like it is so cerebral how safety conscious and engaged you are in everything you're doing when you're really running the real thing, that it is so nice to just be lackadaisical and pretend it's a cartoon and just break stuff. Like that is why I play these games.
How beat up are your model trains at home then?
Oh, they're not beat up because those are expensive models that I could hurt. I don't want to do that.
Oh, so you actually drive them responsibly as
well.
well?
Yeah, because I'm not, they're expensive, Con. I don't want to break my model choo-choos.
Gotcha.
You don't want to break your RC cars, do you?
No, but they are, they get their fair share of wear and tear.
I mean, and that happens. I mean, we thankfully don't have collision issues, but...
my main drift car has what I like to call a beater body, and it's like, you know, it has a lot of cracks and chipped paint and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
It gets regular touch-ups of the old paint because, yeah.
Well, if
But
you
I mean,
think
you
of
know,
like,
that's what I learned to drive with, so that's kind of how it goes. I have another body that I'm working on that'll be nicer, but it's not gonna be. It was funny. My buddy came over, and he brought over his like nice car and his not nice car, and we're running the not nice cars, and then he puts his nice car body on. He's like, okay, let me do some laps on my own, and don't come near me because I don't want to wreck my nice car body. And I'm like, I get it. So, I mean, I'm always gonna run my cars no matter what. I mean, you know, you can just make display models, but then you'll never, like, if you want to run them, don't make nice stuff.
right. And that's like the nature of racing stuff and things like that. Like that's kind of how that stuff
get
goes.
Stuffed up a lot, especially when you're drifting, because like you hit walls and things, and other cars, especially if you're trying to like tandem and stuff. So.
Yeah, model trains, it's like, it's so different, and it's more like a puzzle than like an adrenaline experience or anything. Or maybe you're just sitting there drinking beers, watching trains go around in circles, which is one of our favorite pastimes. But
you need to make one of those model trains, like that model train restaurant where they deliver your food by train.
But it
you know,
delivers
you
beer.
need to make that in your house for like, you know, your fridge and your kitchen to your various locations. So
Sold.
you can just like call a train to bring snacks.
we could figure this out. I need to get a pneumatic
So you have to drill a lot of
controller
holes in your wall.
and drill a lot of holes in the walls that I don't own. If you're watching this, landlord man, because I know you watch my YouTube sometimes, I'm not going to drill any holes in your walls. It's fine. It's fine.
Just drill them and patch them. As long as you patch them
That's
enough,
true.
you'll never know.
It's true. That'd be funny.
Patch all the holes.
No,
Yeah.
just get a tank car that is just beer, and then you run the train to the kegerator, and we could put a block signal system. We could do this. We could do
right,
goals.
what do you think
I
the
have goals now.
Heist, I'm about to cross this 10% hill.
All right, see if you can do better than me.
What do you think the probability of me not, like, actually... Oh, well, oh, God.
Well,
GG.
it's already going well.
Oh, God. I fell off the Class 48 off the bridge, so the cars are unbraked going down to 10%. Unbraked 12 FCs. Oh,
How did you do this too?
Oh, no.
How did we both do this?
Oh, no. I pressed F to get out of the Class 48 UI, and it yeeted me off the side of the bridge.
So this happened to both of us, literally.
Oh, and I see one bent car already. Dude, this is going to be a disaster.
You're out of render
no.
distance for me.
Oh
so.
my God, they're everywhere. Oh no, they didn't even. Oh God, they're so. Oh my God. Oh no.
It's all gone horribly wrong.
I don't know where all the. Oh God. Yeah. Shoot. Oh no. Where are you at? Where?
I am on the 6.5% with all 8 of my cars finally, and I'm running against the brake on the way down. I can come help you re-rail everything though if you'd like.
This is why. Yeah, there's cars and trees over here. I like. Oh my God! I should have saved. I should have done a safety save.
That would have been intelligent. Yep.
Yeah, but that would have. I didn't do it, and now I'm paying the price of re-railing all these cars. Oh my God! You know what? I'm just gonna take a break and come back when this problem has fixed itself.
Yeah, that's probably for everyone's best.
I literally went to shove them over the hill, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put full brake on the Class 48 so it stops shy of the hill, right? And as soon as I shoved them over the hill and then got out of the Class 48, I fell off. So they were at 100% with speed going over the 10%. Oh God,
yep.
This is a nightmare. Now we have to play Find All 12 Cars. Great game.
Well, we're gonna do that, get things re-railed, and we'll see you on the other side, folks.
Yeah, this has been a disaster.
Okay, so gravity shove, huh?
Yeah, I don't have any pins. I couldn't get the pin. Dude, I have like 6 cars braked right now. And
yeah, there's like 1 or 2 up here that are braked as well, and it's just scooting.
A lot of brake.
We'll figure out where the Mosca ended up. It was slowing down, so I'm not too worried about it. It's probably stuck on the flat section, but
brakes. Untie brakes. Not all the front ones. Leave the couple front ones, but I'm gonna untie these back ones because we're gonna get to the. We're on the flat here. Okay,
Yeah.
untied.
We gotta get on the downhill because we don't have an engine with us.
Yeah, untied.
And
Okay,
Mosca's
we're
not
good.
gonna shove back through 8 cars up the 6.5%.
Eight loaded coal cars. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not happening.
It's not
All right.
happening. All right, brake coming on number 1 and number 2.
Untied this brake. Yeah. Okay.
Got brakes on the
Untied.
front 3 now.
Okay.
Does
Should be okay.
does that feel safe?
I don't know. Are we slowing down too much? Is the question.
Well, we're on the hill now, so like it doesn't really matter if we slow down too much. We can take a brake off and
that's
we'll
true.
roll.
We have all 12 cars here. That's.
I
legit.
think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guess what? I can count. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes.
All right. You want us? Oh, this one's linked already. You got that one linked.
Got it
Okay.
ready to
Oh, that one- got
bounce
this one
in.
linked. Okay.
Probably kick a
that
little
one
brake
linked.
off.
Okay. This one's the first not linked, so we have to somehow.
If you break the back section harder, we can separate them.
That's what
So
I'm-
if you
but, like,
if you
okay,
break all
that,
those, we can get a link
right
in it.
there. All right, breaking that. All right, let me know when you get the link.
You're still hard up against me. I'm gonna kick a brake off up here, I guess.
These are like literally all these.
Oh,
cars
good
break.
God! All right,
we'll stop.
links in.
We're stopped. All right, just stop. You know what? Stop your train there, and I'll just send you one car at a time. This will be.
Oh, there. Okay.
more
Yeah.
smart.
We should stop.
Alright.
I still don't see the Mosca, but I also can't see much. So,
All right, there you go. There's the first car coming in.
did they have
I'm
any
not-
brake on them, or some brake?
No.
No, it's so much distance, Con, that you're gonna spill train cars everywhere again.
Yeah, on like 30, 20,
Dunk.
okay, 20% brake.
Yeah, that's probably ideal.
I have to put them to 0 first, or else they don't get going.
Yeah, you get it 0, and then just give it a nice cute little break.
All right, there's another one. You got to be quick with these links, bro.
I'm working on it, and quick with these brakes. 20's not enough.
All right. I'll crank it up more. There we go. Nice 37.
37 sold.
You know what? I can literally do these back through myself just by catching. Dunk.
Dunk. Oh God, that was a violent dunk.
Ah!
I'm kicking this cut of cars down the hill further. This is the stupidest gravity railroad I've ever been a part of.
What are you talking about? This is just normal. The boss doesn't have to know what happened. Okay.
No one let management know.
The boss wanted us to do some stuff over 10%, and that was really dumb of him. And it never
Yep.
should have happened.
We got railroaded. It's fine.
Yeah, it was a job we never should have taken in the first place.
By the time we get to the Mosca, it's gonna be cold and out of steam. I can smell it already.
Holy.
It's fine.
Oh my god. Okay. Got that one.
Oh, hey, look, hopper cars. That bodes well. Please stop. Please stop. Dunk.
All right, sick. Got all that. Perfect. I got these back 4 connected. Just
Dunk.
driving
All
my
right,
own
we're
train.
pinned into the hoppers, so I'm gonna start trying to
Oh,
pull
good.
through this.
Well, hold on a minute. How are you? What do you mean pull through?
I have
I see you
I have
way
a
over
steam
there. What's
choo-choo.
up?
We're all hooked in. Yeah.
Yeah, but wait for me to catch up on the flat here. You're going down 6.5%. You don't need to pull through anything.
There's so many brakes tied still, bro.
Yeah, well, we'll just untie all the brakes. That's what I'm saying.
I'm pulling through
Did
it.
you pin your last one, by the way? Your last card? Does that have a pin?
I think so. I don't
Okay.
know. You'll find out. I'm pulling away.
Management's going to be really upset if there's no pin.
Management can deal with it. And yes, the fire had cooled off and the
Oh god,
steam is
oh god, this
things.
is spicy.
What are you doing back there? Are you
news
making bad life choices back there, Con?
News is we're pinned in. The bad news is you need to move forward just a little bit.
I'm moving forward actively.
Okay. We might have lost one car in the.
I can smell that.
I don't know
I
what
was
to-
pinned into the hoppers, and now that I only have hoppers now.
What'd you say the max donk speed was? 5 miles an hour? Is the max?
4 or 5 mile an hour. Yeah, that's like the
I
max.
feel like I was doing 5 mile an hour, and it was.
Okay, there's a link in that, and that's just gonna the coal train's gonna make it down to the bottom of the hill.
Wait,
what did you do up here?
What are you talking about?
The Mosca's past the helper shed already.
How did you disconnect? I don't understand.
That's what I don't get. What did you do back here?
Were you never connected?
No, we were connected.
Well, I derailed the back half, but only like one car in the middle, and now we're somehow
Well,
not connected.
apparently you derailed enough of the back half.
Well,
this is how did it go, viewers? Poorly.
Oh no, we're good. We're rolling. I'm chill. I'm chill.
Okay, you've got. There's a Lincoln pin in this.
Yeah, just make sure the Mosca's on the flat part. Don't worry, man. I got it. We're fine.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna get all the way down there and only have like 11 cars, and realize that I probably should have just like reloaded the save before we even started this episode. And just saved ourselves.
We probably should have just stopped playing this video game at this point.
Yeah, we should. This has been like a many disasters.
The many cups, all of the cups, they runneth
why
over.
10% is bad, kids. You ever wonder why railroads don't do 10%?
Yeah, turns out anytime you had a significant hill component, things go poorly.
And then you look at cars and they put like a 30% grade for a car, and there's like, good luck.
Yeah, but see, if we had air brakes, we would have a much better time with this. Because you have a valve in the cab that says slow down instead of in the cab that prays. So, anyway. The Mosca is all the way down the hill. It's on the flat part. I've got the brakes off. It's presumably out of steam because the fire has not done things yet. Okay,
I got all my brakes. I got a bunch of brakes tied. A lot of brakes tied.
He's got lots of brakes. I don't see you above me. Where are you at?
I'm about to hit your the Mosca here on the back.
Ah!
We're good.
Me and all 50 of my boiler pressure are trying to run away from you.
No, I think I'm slowing down enough. Yeah, I'm good. I'm slowing down. You don't have to worry about it.
Cool.
All right, and then we can finally make our way back to the... Oh my god, we still have to go all the way back to the ironworks.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Forgot about that. Oh man, I thought we were further along.
Dies. It's fine.
The derails, man. This has been there's been a lot of
the
derailment.
Makes things a little bit worse. It's fine.
Dunk.
All right. Well, what's the over/under on us derailing one more time on the way back?
Yeah, we should be good now, right? Just don't go 100%, because like we're gonna lose half the train.
Yeah,
I'll stand here right at the last hopper so I can make sure we still have all the stake flats. All right. 20-car train. This is our longest train yet, and it's been a total nightmare.
It's so long I can't see it. And that's fine.
We were supposed to just test the Mosca, and our train is already disconnected. Hold on, I guess there wasn't a link.
Oh boy.
Just wait. This is just there wasn't a link. That's all this is. This
I'm
is not
trying to back up.
Oh, you don't have to. They're on a hill. They're on a hill.
Oh, okay.
The link gets snapped. Okay, just snapped pin. It's fine.
It's fine. We'll get it fixed. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. We have spare pins. You're good.
Come on, Mosca.
You're good.
It is nice having chuff sounds that are synchronized with the exhaust. It's a little thing, but it's a nice thing.
This is a cool train, though.
This is a cool train. It's a
nice
coal train. Coal train. And we're hauling coal with the Mosca, which is what the Mosca did when it was not the Mosca. I'm pretty sure it was named the Rock Hill when it worked for the EBT. So technically the Mosca, like, they lettered it up for the Denver and Rio Grande, had it all painted, and then it never made it to Colorado. So it never ran as the Mosca. But here it is in a video game.
Can you imagine, though, if your load got spilled when you had to re-rail it?
That would be a very bad day.
It would have not worked out.
Okay, I'm going to try 30% on the Johnson bar and 100% throttle.
That feels good.
Because that seemed to work pretty good with the Glenbrook, so we're gonna just do that.
This feels nice.
It's actually slowing down a little bit. I'm gonna try. I've been doing 50 with the Glenbrook, so I'm gonna try 44.
You have a lot of weight. Like you have a lot of weight on this train, so.
I really do. It's so long that I can't see. I can only see half of it. Because I can only see
Yeah.
10 cars.
Well, the good news is the other half is still here. So there is that, at least.
I gotta
But
say,
it's,
the Mosca with the wagon top boiler and the big stack, it is a right pretty looking locomotive. This is a
So
vibe.
I don't understand the wagon top boiler. Like, it's just like, aren't all the boilers except for like the Shays T boiler? Aren't they all wagon tops? pretty
No,
much
so
every-
the wagon top means that the boiler changes diameter as it goes down it. So you can see that it's really
Oh.
small and skinny at the front, and then it's got a big tapered course, and then it's really fat at the back.
And
Yeah.
they do that because
They do that because reasons. I mean, I don't know why they didn't go for a bigger barrel on this particular engine and just straight barrel
makes
it the
less
whole
steam
time.
to build a boiler, I guess, if you do it that way.
Well,
like less
so
steam to
you
build
get
pressure.
more height over the crown sheet this way, and you elevate your steam dome, so it's easier to go up grades this way. You don't have to carry
Right.
the water as high because the steam dome is further away, and you're less worried about carrying steam over or carrying water over to the engine. But it's a bit more complex to manufacture, and as well, like I think it's a loading gauge thing. I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments will know. And a attachment point at the saddle thing, and like the smoke box wanted it to be that big, so they just narrowed the boiler down for it. But later engines, like almost all went to like a straight barrel, or they had extra tapers to just like make it as big as possible, but only small where it needed to be. Like if you look at like the big standard gauge superpower engines, they have a reverse taper into the back head so that the boiler fits in the cab, but then the boiler is like the width of the cab the whole way down.
Wouldn't the reverse taper be like bad? Wouldn't that be too like smaller for the firebox then at the spot where it comes?
It slightly, yes, but I mean, when you're
Don't care.
designing with that much headroom, it's like there's so much water space over it. It's such a big locomotive, it doesn't really matter. If it was on a
Right.
narrow gauge engine like this, I mean, it might make a difference, but there is an narrow gauge engine that uses that. The K36, which is a cousin to my K37 491, has a reverse taper to the back head. And it's one of the darndest things. Like, you look at a K36, you look at a K37, and most people can't tell any difference between them. But you get in the cab, and I can see over the top of the boiler of the K36, and the K37's boiler is hopelessly high above my head. I mean, ridiculous difference in the cab. It is such a huge boiler comparatively in the cab because of the taper course. So that's surprising how those things work out.
Locomotive engineering seems so like ambiguous. It's ridiculous. Like, it just seems like locomotive manufacturers like, we're gonna try this and see if it works. And then if it does, great.
Yeah,
If not,
lots of stuff like that throughout the years.
it's like, this seems like it might be better, and then they do it, and they're like, whatever, you know.
Yeah, let's try it. Like, you know how we finally got to a 280, right?
They just said, let's put more wheels on a 260. Like, I
Well,
feel
yeah.
like-
So, but you look at the Glenbrook. If you look at a picture of it in the buy menu, if you look at what Glenbrook looks like,
yeah.
you see it's got the giant spacing between the number 2 and the number 3 driver.
Yeah.
That was so that they could fit the firebox between the axles, and they didn't have to run an axle through a firebox. And this problem in small locomotive design like plagued designers forever.
Is that the same with the Eureka as well? So the firebox is in
Exactly.
between two axles?
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense. I never knew that, but that makes sense why it
Yeah.
has a big, bulky space.
And so then with like the Mosca, this sort of design is starting to understand, okay, well, we can figure out how to work the firebox and the ash pan around one of the axles so that we can actually have that be a part of the locomotive there.
Right.
And I guess we're
So
lined through the runaround again. It's fine.
It essentially has an axle through the firebox, but not really. It's outside the firebox. The
Yeah,
firebox
it's through the ash pan, and then the ash pan and dampers have to kind of
Like
crowd
work
around the axle. Yeah, and that's a challenging thing to design because obviously, like with the K37, the Rio Grande screwed that up, and it sucks to try and clean the ash pan out because the clearance between the axle and the top of the pan is so little, so there's no space underneath the grates. They actually had to modify the grates that they made for the 491 and her sisters. They had to modify them to have shorter tangs, which we were bewildered until we found drawings of it to figure out what to do because the grate linkage never worked. And it's like, what the hell is wrong with this? Oh, and they had a
But,
drawing
okay, so-
issued to fix it, so...
They took an engine with the same boiler pressure, the same size cylinders, and they said we're going to put an extra driver on it. Just for the additional adhesion. Like, they weren't getting any more power out of the thing.
Well, when you start getting into the more larger sized pistons and you start getting into higher pressures, 6-wheel drivers like start to get slick. Like 20,
Right.
our 10-wheeler, it's a 460. She is noticeably more slick than the other
So
engines.
the biggest reason to put like huge drivers and tons of them on these big locomotives is just because you're generating so much power with the cylinder that you need.
You got to be able to
control.
distribute it, right? Because remember, you're only ever going to get the friction that you have. You can't get more friction other than adding sand, which changes your coefficient. If you've got 6 surfaces to bear weight on, if they get too heavy, they start to beat the crap out of the rail. So you really kind of have an upper limit of how much axle loading you can have, and then you have an upper limit of friction. So if you want to get more force out of the locomotive, you have to add more wheels.
Yeah, more friction points.
Yeah. So you keep the axle loading happy, but you still get enough friction out of it. That way you can have an engine of a certain size. So you gotta think of the boundary conditions. It's like anything in engineering. Your boundary conditions and your initial conditions set up the whole problem. And your boundary condition is, okay, well, I need to pull X amount of train. Speaking of, oh god, we have to go up a 2% grade with this thing.
Yeah, full speed ahead, sir.
I've got it wide open, and we're only good for 275,000 pounds up this.
We're only good for 275,000 pounds wide open.
Yeah.
This is way more than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna cut these cars off and break them here.
We'll leave them at the smelter. We'll
Yeah,
come.
they'll just be-
Wait,
they'll
we
just
got
block-
them halfway back. Management doesn't need to
I'll
know.
just block the main line. It's no big deal.
It's fine. We
I'm
will
gonna
certainly
run over and meet you at the hill over here.
certainly remember this hubris.
Yeah, I noticed there was like a little bit of a lag spike there, so I was like, huh. I feel like we're having a problem. And I think it was like as soon as we hit the hill with the load, so...
Yeah, we had 388,000 pounds, so we were not going to make the 2% grade by over 100,000. Yeah,
it is a long 2%. So
it's actually like we're actually right at tonnage with the 8 loads with this right now.
oh, perfect. Well, when you get to the flat part, you'll accelerate.
Yeah, because it's just sitting here right on the gap between the individual chuffs and the chuff loop right now, just doing the thing.
In real life, oh no, you're moving fast enough. I was about to say, you're not at that point of like locking up or whatever.
Oh no,
You're-
thankfully not.
No, you still have some speed.
What an adventure we've had today, Con.
I know,
This is gonna be one for the books.
I thought it was gonna be like super easy, and then it's.
Oh yeah, just look at this engine, and then yeah, look, our coal mine. Everything about our coal mine is just sad.
Yeah,
So-
well, I like the switchback. We can build the alternate route from the smelter all the way up this valley. There's some nice waterfalls. There's a little river. It'll be 2% the whole way, nice and gradual for you. You know, we can do all that.
I want the 4% line. I want the compromise. I don't want 2%, and I don't want 10%. Yeah.
There's no like back valley's not 4%. I mean, I guess we could make it 4%.
You'd make it 4%. Like you could run up the valley that we already run up to the iron mine. Do it 4%, leaving out the smelter. If you were to go out,
you need a line next to the iron mine that clears it. So get rid of the 10%.
no, we can keep
And-
10%. Like we can just keep adding spaghetti. That's fine.
But we're gonna need a switch then to connect up to that 10%. You want to clear like the hill at the 10%, but on a 4% run.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's the new
We
project.
can figure that out somehow. I'm sure.
I'll contact management and see if we can get the funds transferred to start. that
Something
project
tells
at
me
some point.
management's not going to be terribly pleased with us
No,
from
management's
this episode.
Management's really tired of management laid a really big switchback, and you know it wasn't a good project. I'm not management. Management was told, you know what? Comments are management. Leave us alone. It's late, and we're still running this train.
We are still running this train. Someday we shall make it home once again.
But yeah, no, I can work on another route for sure.
That would be fun.
4% climb from the smelter all the way there. That would be interesting. I feel like if you 4% climb from the smelter, like right away, we're gonna be really high up.
You say that, but I'm pretty sure if you tried to lay straight there, you'd still not even make it to the iron mine. Like, you're gonna have to weave a bunch.
Weird. Okay, well, we'll check.
I'm pretty sure. Because
We'll
I
see.
remember that 2% line I made a million years ago? The first
Yeah,
iron
but
time.
that was 2%.
That was 2% leaving the smelter, and it weaved everywhere to get to the iron mine.
It's like half that, right? So we should be
Yeah,
okay.
4%'s half the amount of track. So I bet you it'll be around the height of the iron mine if you go 4% straight up. I'd bet.
Fair. I can't believe you're still like full regging this and
Yep.
you're barely
Just
making
wide open, and we're just
it. This is literally what it's got.
eight loaded coal cars are just tonnage for this thing on 2% grade, which is
Now you're gonna pick
hilarious.
up some speed, and then see, now this is even more proof that we should have taken the switchback and not.
Yeah, we really
Yeah.
should.
I'm gonna have to come back here later and go pick up those goddamn cars. Actually, I can just bag the Mosca up and get it. It'll be fine. But
It'll be fine.
yeah.
We need to go deliver these first.
It was an optimistic adventure. I feel like it was.
Yes, very optimistic.
The amount of derailing was excessive. I feel like
Yes.
we've derailed more cars in one episode than perhaps the entire series so far.
You know, I don't believe that. It's got to be close, but I feel like I have peed in
That
enough
was like all
cups.
12 of those plank cars. It's like 7 of the 8 hoppers. I think
No,
only
no,
one
it was
stayed on-
6 of the 8 hoppers. So
6 of the 8. Okay, still 18 cars in an episode. That's
that might be a
record.
new record for an episode, other than like a live stream for me.
All right, listen. I'll make a 4% line, but the key is it has to go over that tall mountain before it goes down to the coal mine.
Oh boy, you're just gonna like do the Polar Express spiral. Just wee wee
Yeah,
wee.
we'll figure it out. I feel like if we're gonna do a line to the coal mine though at 4%, oops, I fell off the train. It's fine.
Bye, code.
It should come up from the smelter on the 2% and then just fork off like here and go left.
You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. That would be more in line with what my original iron mine line was originally.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
But-
I put the switch up here at the start, and then it would go the other way. But my original
Holy
Railroads
cow.
Online maps were, man, you should have seen the first stuff I built when before the game was released.
Oh, the spline tool has been such a lifesaver though. Holy cow!
It really has been. The original
trying to
track
build the
laying.
old way was very time consuming.
Yeah, I remember trying it for the first time, and it was like, how do you make track that doesn't suck? And it took a lot of time to figure out. And even then, everyone knows how bad at laying track I was still. So
Yeah.
no, we definitely did not make a wrong turn at the Y. We definitely remembered to throw the switch. We've been running 20 miles an hour the whole time. Promise.
You mean 2 miles an hour? 2 miles an hour?
Yeah,
Slowly
that.
accelerating from that point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Do we still have 8 cars?
Oh my god, I really hope so.
I can't
Yes,
tell. Okay.
We still have 8 cars. Yes.
Thank God.
The number of
I had
times
a
we just
mild
lost from
panic attack just then.
PTSD from the cars that have gone missing over the days.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, we have 8 cars. We're good. This is wonderful. I am also the money man. I have $783. So just
at you.
Super rich. Gonna sell all this coal and make some more money, which is good.
It's gonna be
Look at that, we're
great.
even lined right in.
I really do think we should go for a class 70 number 13. That's the Kenosha. It's like perfect. It's too good.
It would be a road engine that could maybe, I don't know, bring up stuff up 3% without needing a pusher.
Handle some amount of grade. Yeah.
Handle
Actually, the
3%.
funny thing is even the class 70 doesn't have enough huevos to haul the train that we were trying to haul up the 3% today. One
you
class
serious?
70. Yeah, it's good for 330,000.
You're overshooting.
I was looking at my spreadsheet. It was 18 cars.
All right, that one's good. This one overshot a little bit. You gotta back up.
Backing up just a
we
little
go.
bit, and then I'm gonna kick it forward again.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, class 70 is good for 335,000 pounds ish on a 3%, and we had 380, so we still would have needed a little push, but
Yeah, but it would have been less of a push, and it would have taken like we had to push and break that train up. So like
yeah.
we would have been fine. But either way, we're making some, making a coal pile, so that's something.
Hey, pile of coal.
Coal's always good.
We had to go around the entire map to do it, and it was very silly, and we wrecked everything we own.
The switchback seems great now, doesn't it? When you realize it's actually a super short distance. Yeah, maybe. No.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it didn't have to be switchbacks, though. You could have just.
Well, you gotta appease the people. Wow, we have 150 coal here. That's awesome, and I have $1,983. So the Class 70 only costs a whopping, holy cow, $5,600. So we just need to do that 3 more times, and we're fine.
Yeah, let's not and say we did, shall we, Con?
Yeah, considering there's like 1,900. Yeah, I'll run some more trains. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. We have to go get those plank cars. So
we're just gonna go do that. So bye.
We're gonna go do that. See you guys later. I'm just gonna wait till we get to the ironworks.